What's up guys, it's Woolf from Scratch and welcome back to another Civilization 5 guide. Last time I did the main civilization led by Pekal, a really rather interesting religious scientific civilization which gets a free great person every once in a while, so rather cool and unique civilization. This week I'm doing one of this from Vanilla Civilization, the very last civilization in the list. We're doing China, led by Wu Zetian.
Shadow causes the flowers to blossom and the rivers to flow. You are the leader of China's history stretches back into the mists of time, its people achieving many great things long before the other upstart civilizations were even conceived. China's contributions to the arts and sciences are too many and too wondrous to do justice to. The printing press, gunpowder, the works of Confucius, these are but a few of the gifts China has given to an undeserving world. You, great queen, who with cunning and beauty rose from the position of lowly concubine to that of divine empress, your people call out to you to lead them. Great China is once again beset on all sides by barbarians. Can you defeat all your many foes and return your country to greatness? Can you build a civilization to stand the test of time?
Lovely. So as you can see, China's special ability is the art of war, which is of course a reference to Sun Tzu's Art of War, which was published around 300 BC, I think. I'm taking a stab, but I can't really remember from my head. But as you get, the Great General combat bonus is increased by 15% and their spawn rate is increased by 50%, which in turn is a very nice little buff they get for their Great Generals, which, while it doesn't seem like much, it's a generally good idea to always have a Great General in your military campaigns, and always having more Great Generals means more citadels, which is fantastic defense tile, and the increased buff means a better advantage for your units in war. So that's quite an interesting ability, sorry. And I'm going to move straight into their unique building, which will be coming right up.
He who destroys a good book kills reason itself.
So upon researching writing, you unlock the Chinese unique building, the Papermaker. The Papermaker replaces the library, as you'd expect, with the one being the Great Library. Paper replaces the library, and like the library, it gives 1 science per every 2 citizens in a city. However, and the real winner about this building is the fact it doesn't have any maintenance cost, and in fact it gives you 2 gold, which is incredibly useful, especially in the early games, and especially in Brave New World, where money is quite hard to come by. It really is a really nice bonus, and across your empire, these buildings are absolutely fantastic. So I'll move on to the Chinese unique unit, and then do a little summary of China, which is such a interesting double-sworded civilization.
The art of war teaches us not to rely on the likelihood of the enemies not attacking, but rather on the fact that we have made our position unassailable.
Right, so I just couldn't help myself as playing as China today. I had to build the Great Wall of China and have that lovely quote from Sun Tzu, which the Chinese special ability is based upon. Which leads...
Press is the best instrument for enlightening the mind of man and improving him as a rational, moral, and social being.
Sorry, I almost cut off the narrator just then. So upon researching machinery, you unlock the Chinese unique unit, which is the Chukunu, I think. I always say Chokunu because I can always pronounce that. Chukunu. The Chukunu is a replacement for the crossbowman. The difference between this unit is that, as you can read, this unit can fire twice. However, the Chukonu, I'll try and get it right. The Chukonu has only a range strength of 14, whereas the regular crossbowman has a range strength of 18, and while both have, of course, the same defenses of 13. So the real cool factor about this unit is that, apart from firing twice, it means it can be quite versatile in offense, and it can really quite excel in opportunities on defense inside your cities when defending against barbarians, such as these, and of course the Golden Horde all the way over there. So I will show you a Chukonu, try and pronounce it right for the rest of this guide, and then I'll sum China up. Here is our Chinese Chukonu. They got it right, I think, this time. So here he is. he's quite green, to say the least. So here is, you see, where as my Chinese forces converge on this barbarian encampment, we can do attack number 1 and attack number 2. So to summarize China as a whole, you need to break down the elements which they have, that being their unique unit, being a crossbow replacement which can fire twice in a single turn, which, when promoted, can be extremely well, as well as a unique building that gives you gold, a library that is maintenance free, which is very important in the early game, where gold is quite scarce in Brave New World. So there's two main strategies that China's really going for here. The first one is domination, where really you're using your Chukonus for an offensive strategy. The real element where they'll shine here is, even though they're weaker, 13 compared to a regular 18, the fact that they can fire twice in a single turn means they'll be able to get to the upper tier promotions quite quickly, which means they should be quite effective killing machines. Just a reminder, however, that the Chukonus are not siege weapons. Leave that to trebuchets, cannons, artillery, etc. But you maybe use them for weakening up targets, but for the real hard yards, getting a city down, use siege weapons. So, along with their special ability, the Art of War, when units are near a great general, regularly, the units will have a 15% combat bonus. China gets a 30% combat bonus, which is double, or as you saw in the bonus, 100% in other terms. Which really, while you may not notice it, obviously, it's quite a useful bonus to have, and it can really mean, when facing overwhelming odds, means your forces can hold the line, as well as the increased spawn rate of great generals means you can place more citadels, grab more territory, and put up nice defensive positions. The other strategy going for China is that of a scientific strategy. This of course comes with utilizing the most out of their paper makers, the unique building. As I've already stated, it's a great building. No maintenance costs is absolutely fantastic, and that nice little gold injection is what you want in the early game. So with that emphasis in mind, you could play scientifically and really have a nice time doing it, with the Chukonu being a defensive unit, excelling in garrisons. The next thing about China is whether or not you should go wide or tall, and since Brave New World puts science penalties upon when you annex or make a city with a settler, I'm sort of running out of words here, sorry. When you do the latter, you incur a science penalty. And in Gods and Kings, as China, you could infinite city sprawl and have no science penalty, and you'd really get quite a lot out of your paper makers, as well as the decreased unhappiness penalty that you had in Gods and Kings compared to Brave New World. A wide strategy was a lot better for China in Gods and Kings. However, still in Brave New World, I will still advise using a wide strategy, while not necessarily infinite city sprawling, having a good amount of cities, 6 to 10, or as I prefer to call it, the order range of cities, meaning pretty much I will probably adopt order for an ideology, which will also come handy for the various ideological tenets which give me science bonuses, also because order will give me a much better benefit to a wide empire, which I probably want to be going to get full advantage out of the paper makers, which of course will be quite a nice to my economy and to my science. So that's the Chinese civilization, with the great paper maker unique building, and the Chukonu fantastic crossbow replacement. So I'll be back next week with another Civilization 5 guide. Sorry for all the rambling. I'll try and get rid of that next guide. Yeah, it's me, Wolf out. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more. Subscribe, comment, like, and like if you don't like. Thanks for watching. Wolf out.